Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back and thank you for supporting me. I'm Coretta. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make custom chip bags using Canva. Come on y'all, let's get started. For this project, I'll be using Koala Inkjet Glossy Photo Paper, 36 pounds, 8.5 by 11. I will be using AdTech double-sided tape. I will be using pink and shears, which are the scissors with the zigzag cut. I'm going to be using 1 ounce chip bags, which here are Doritos, but you can use any chips of your choice. And I will be using my paper crimper, which is optional. You do not need this in order to complete the project. I will leave a list of these items in the description of this video. So here in Canva, I am going to show you how I created my chip bag template and design. I have Canva Pro, but you can use the free version to complete this project. To start, I am going to select Create on the top left. It is the plus sign. On the pop-up window, I am going to select Create Custom Size. I want my page size to be in inches, so under Units, I'm going to change PX for pixels to IN for inches. I will be using 8.5 by 11 paper, but I want it to be landscape orientation. So under width, I'm going to type 11. Then under height, I'm going to type 8.5. Then I'm going to select Create New Design. Now that I have my page, I will begin creating the template for the chip bag. To create the chip bag template, I am going to go to the left side panel and I am going to select Elements. I'm going to type square in the search bar and hit enter. Next to the word shapes, I'm going to hit select all, and then I am going to select this first square right here. I want to change the color of my square to white. So to change the color, I'm going to make sure that the square is selected, and then on the top toolbar, right above my page, there's a color circle, and that's where you change the color. So I'm going to select the circle, and then I'm going to select white under the document colors, or you can select it in the default solid colors, but since it's up here, I'm going to select it here. So that I can see the square, I'm going to add a stroke around the square. Since making it white, you can't really see it. So with the square selected, I am going to add the stroke. And to do this, I'm going to go to the toolbar right above the page, and I am going to select the style stroke, which is the third icon from the left on the toolbar. I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to select the straight line, which is the second icon, and then I'm going to change my stroke weight to 1. So you can move the slider bar, or you can put it in, you can type it in, and I'm typing it in, and I'm gonna hit enter. Once I finish, I'm going to click anywhere to close the window. Next, I'm going to select the square, and then I'm going to go to the toolbar right above this page, and I'm going to select position. And it is the last icon here from the right. I'm going to select the word, I'm going to select position, and on the pop-up window, I'm going to make sure I'm on the Arrange tab. Then I'm going to go down to Advanced, and I am going to make sure that the ratio is unlocked, I'm going to change the width to 5.45 and hit enter. And then I'm going to change the height to 6.44 and hit enter. I'm going to move the square to the center of the page. And you'll know when the square is centered because you will see the purple cross bow for the square, for the center of the page. So you can see the purple line going down the page and across the page. And that lets you know that the square is centered. So once centered, I'm going to click anywhere on the canvas. Now I want to duplicate this square to create the remaining areas. So I'm going to select my square, and then I am going to duplicate it. And to duplicate it, I'm going to select the duplicate icon that's on the toolbar right above the square. I'm going to select duplicate. With the duplicate square selected, I am going to go to the toolbar right above the page and select position again. On the pop-up window, I'm going to make sure I'm on the arrange tab. I'm going to make sure that the ratio is unlocked, and I'm going to change the width to 2.52, hit enter, and then I'm going to leave the height at 6.44. Then I am going to position this square to the left side of the first square. And when positioning, you want to make sure that the squares are touching and that they are lined both top and bottom. I also want the same square on the right side, and so I'm going to make sure that the square on the left side is selected, and then on the top toolbar, I'm going to select duplicate, and then I'm going to move the duplicated square to the right side, making sure that it is touching the middle square and align both top and bottom. To make the top borders, I'm going to select the middle square, and then on the toolbar right above the square, I'm going to select duplicate. With the duplicate square selected, I'm going to go to the toolbar right above the page and select position. And then on the left pop-out window, I'm going to make sure that the ratio is unlocked. I'm going to change the width to 10.49, hit enter. And then I'm going to change the height to 0.67 and hit enter. I'm going to position this rectangle above the 3 squares that are already on the page, making sure that it's touching the other 3 squares and align left and right. I'm going to duplicate this rectangle, and then I'm going to position it on the bottom of the 3 squares, making sure that it is aligned left and right. Next, I am going to select all of the squares, and then on the toolbar, I am going to select group. Then I'm going to make sure that this template is in the middle of the page. Now I am ready to design. So to start designing, I am going to add the image that I want to use for the front of the chip bag. To add the image, I am going to select upload on the left side panel. I'm going to select upload file. I am going to browse to where the file is located. I'm going to select my file, my image, and then I'm going to select open. Once the image uploads, I am going to select it to add it to the canvas. With the image on the canvas, I am going to size it and position it where I want it, and so that it fits the middle square. And to size it, I just used like the side panels. They have these indications on the side that are squares. I'm just using those indications to size the image. Next, I'm going to select elements on the left side panel. And here I'm going to select a square to be added to the canvas. And it came in the orange because that is the default cut palette of the design. I'm going to move the orange square, and I am just going to size it to fit the left side panel, and I'm going to size it so that it is touching the middle design. Then I'm going to make sure it's selected. I'm going to duplicate it and add it to the right side, making sure again that it is touching and aligned. Now I'm going to fill in the top and bottom of the template, and so I'm just going to select this left side square, and then I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to position it, and then I'm going to use the side panel, the side lines where you can change the size, and I'm just going to size it to fit within the template. I want to change the color to match the teal color, the green teal color that's on the front of the chip bag. And so to do this, I'm going to make sure that that rectangle is selected, that the border rectangle is selected, and then I'm going to select color on the top of the toolbar that's right above the page. And what I want to do is I want to add a new color because I want it to match the color that is already on the canvas. And so I'm going to select add a new color, which is the plus sign. I'm going to select the dropper here that says pick a color. And then I'm going to hover over the design of the middle of the chip bag. I'm going to hover over it until the circle is the color of the teal green. And I'm going to select that. And then I'm going to click anywhere on the canvas to close the panel. I'm going to duplicate this rectangle and then move it to the bottom, making sure that it is fitting within the template that I have on the canvas. Next, I am going to design the side panels. And so on the right side, I'm going to add a nutritional fact. I found this nutritional fact image on Creative Fabrica. So I'm going to select upload, and I've already uploaded the nutritional facts to Canva. And so I'm just going to select the nutritional fact, and then I am going to size and position it where I want it. I'm also going to add a barcode. To do this, I'm going to select elements on the left side panel, and then I'm going to type in the search bar barcode and hit enter. I'm going to select photo, see all, and then I'm going to select this first barcode here because it doesn't really matter which one. So I'm going to select this one. And then I'm just going to size it and position it where I want it. I am going to search for an image to place on the left side. So selecting elements again, I am going to type in the search bar BBQ. And then I'm going to hit enter. And then I am just going to search for the image that I want. And I think I want this image right here. So I'm going to select that image. I'm going to size it and position it where I want it. Then I'm going to change the color because I want it to match. I don't want it black. And so with the image selected, I'm going to go up to the toolbar and I am going to change this color to white. So I'm going to select the color. I'm going to change it to white. And then I'm going to change the next color, select that color, and I'm going to change it to white. And so now the image is white. I want to move this image behind my barcode. And so I'm going to go up to the toolbar right above the page. I'm going to select position. On the arrange tab, I'm going to select backwards. Next, I am going to add some text to the left side. To add text, I'm going to select text on the left side panel, and I am going to scroll down so that I can select a font combination. And so I think I'm going to go with this one here. So I'm going to select this one. I want to change the words to thank you. So I'm going to select the word, and then I'm going to highlight it by double clicking on it, and I'm going to type thank in all capitals, and then I'm going to change the bottom word to you in all capitals with the exclamation. And then I'm going to click anywhere to unselect. I want to change the color to match my chip bag. And so I'm going to select the word thank you. And then I'm going to change the color. So to change the text color on the toolbar right above the page, I'm going to select the text color. And I am going to change it to white. Then I am going to change the pink on the word thanks, and I'm going to change it to the teal green color by selecting effects. And then I am going to select the pink color circle under thickness, and I am going to change it to that teal color that we added earlier. I'm going to repeat the same process for you. I am going to size this and position this where I want it also. So I'm going to size it and then position it where I want it to be. Next, I am going to add some more text. So to add some more text, I'm going to select text on the left side panel, and I am going to scroll up, and I am going to select add subheading. And then I'm going to type for hanging with us. I'm going to change the font. So I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to change the font, and making sure that the font is selected, I am going to go to the top toolbar, and I am going to select the font area, and then I'm going to, in the search bar, I am going to type League Spartan is the font that I want. So I'm going to select my font. And then I'm going to click anywhere to close the panel. I'm just going to size this and position it where I want it. Next, I'm going to add their names. So again, I'm going to select text. And then I'm going to select add a subheading. And then I'm just going to type their names. I'm going to size it so that it fits inside the square. And then I'm going to change the font, and I'm going to select the font, and then I'm going to change the font and to Playwright US Trade. So this is the font that I want. And I'm just going to click anywhere on the canvas to close the font panel. And then I'm going to position this where I want it. I think it's right about there. Then I'm going to add an image to this side. So selecting elements, I am going to search for my image. Once you are satisfied with your design, you can delete the chip bag template. To delete, I am going to select the middle of the chip bag, and on the toolbar right above the page, I'm going to select position, and then I'm going to select layers, and then I'm going to scroll down to where my template is, and I'm going to select the 3 dots, and I'm going to select delete. Now I am ready to print. To print, I am going to download the file to my computer. To download, I am going to select share in the upper right corner. On this screen, I'm going to select downloads on the bottom left. I am going to change my file type to PDF print. And then I'm going to select download. The file is going to download in my download folders in File Explorer. In File Explorer, I'm going to navigate to the download folder. I'm going to open the PDF document. I am going to select menu in the top left. Then I'm going to select print. I'm going to make sure that my printer is selected. I'm going to select properties. I'm going to change my paper type to HP photo paper. I'm going to change my print quality to best. I'm going to select OK, and then I'm going to select print. I have the chip bag printed, so now I'm going to assemble it. So to assemble it, I am going to flip it over, and then I am just going to lightly fold inside, fold the side panels in, just so that I can see where I want them to go and make sure that the front panel isn't showing through, being folded into the back panels. I am going to decide which side I want to be facing up. So I think that I want the thank you side to be the top side of my chip bag. Well, I'll do the left side. So the left side is going to be the top of my chip bag. And you will find out shortly why that is important, that you decide which side is the side that's going to be the top side. So then what you want to do is you want to then open up your chip bag, and you can see where the sides are folded. And so what you want to do now is you want to add some double-sided tape to the top of your chip bag and on the bottom of your chip bag. But you don't want to add the double-sided tape right to the edge. You want to kind of add it in the middle here of the border part, because what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the excess white part, and you want to keep it so that the tape is here, so when you cut the white excess off, your bag doesn't come open. So again, you want to put the tape in the middle of your top border. And so I'm just going to put the tape across the top of the chip bag. And I'm going to put it across the bottom of the chip bag as well. And then I'm going to place some down the side of the chip bag. And so I'm going to put double-sided tape down the side of the chip bag. And here you want to make sure you get close to the edge so that you can close your chip bag. Once you have your tape on your chip bag, you want to take your chips and you just want to place them down in the middle of the bag. So you just want to place them down, and then where you lightly fold it, you want to kind of fold over that end, and then you want to fold over the end with the double-sided tape, and you want to kind of get your paper lined up so that you can press down the center of your bag like that. Press down the center, and then what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze the top from the middle out to make sure that the chip bag closes and that there are no wrinkles. So you want to make sure you close that part, and then you want to do the same thing for the bottom. You want to squeeze the middle and kind of work your way out so that you don't have any wrinkles. And that will be your chip bag. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to crimp the top part and the bottom part of my chip bag to give it a realistic chip bag look. So I'm going to take my paper crimper, and this takes some maneuvering, and I'm going to place my bag inside of my crimper, and then I'm just going to turn it so that the paper, the chip bag, feeds through the crimper, and then I'm going to turn it back to release the bag. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom. I'm going to insert my bag, and then I'm going to turn the crimper so that the paper goes in, and then I'm going to take it out so that now my chip bag has the crimped lines on it, and it'll look just like a real chip bag. So can you see the crimp lines? So once I've crimped my edges, then I'm just going to take my pinking shears and I am going to cut off the excess white part like so. And you just want to cut it off like that, and then it gives it the ridged edges. And I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. And then that will be your completed chip bag. So you have your ridges, you have your zigzag edges, and it looks just like a chip bag. What do you guys think? I love it. I love it. All right, guys, that's all for now. I hope that you're able to follow along with my process. If you like this video and would like to see more, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will respond back. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.